Born in Jacksonville, Florida. Growing up, really didn't know what sport I wanted to play. I got into a couple other sports like baseball, tried that out, wasn't my thing. Football, definitely wasn't my thing. My mom was like, she used to play basketball, so she's like, I'm gonna sign you up for biddy ball. You're gonna love it. So I'm like, I'm gonna try that out too. I got in there and it was like I was just dominant, like best one out there. So that was like my first year playing biddy ball. And then the next year, she signed me up for like, instead of biddy ball, I moved up to like the little older group, so like with the big kids. So I started playing up from there, and from there on, I like basketball just took me away. I mean, that was my first love. So growing up, I got a brother. My mom, as I told you, she played basketball in high school. She was one of the top recruits coming out of Louisiana. She signed to go to USC. Instead, went to a JUCO, and then finished her degree out of Payne College. And then my dad, coming from Georgia, he ran track and played football. He took a track offer from FAMU and went to school at FAMU. And my brother, I mean, he's a football player at Tusculum University, plays football. I think he's going into his third year. So my background, I mean, basketball. I mean, that's just been around me my whole life. So I mean, just the fact that I was just better than everybody. And then when I took like that next step after biddy ball and I started playing up, like I was still almost better than everybody. So I mean, from there I just kept on progressing and trying to get better. And then I noticed like I could really do this. I could really go forward because like people were already hyping me up back then. Like this man's going to be something. He's going to be something. They said I was a tall kid. I mean, I guess I was, but growing up, like when I got past like biddy stage and got to the middle school stage and stuff, it's pretty sure I didn't hit my growth spurt till like my ninth grade year. So, I mean, just that feeling that I could do something, I could take this somewhere, or I could be something with this. I mean, that's what really started it. So, uh, I played football coming into my middle school years. I was kind of pressured. My brother played football at the middle school, and they was like, he was a great. Like everything was about my brother at the middle school: football, track, basketball. So they was like, "You're playing football." The coaches, not my mom. My mom didn't want me playing at all. So I got to sixth grade, didn't really want to play, but they threw me out on the field. So I played quarterback, and from there, I mean, I just had the height. I was like 5'6", 5'7" at the time. So I could just throw the football and I could see over the line. That's all they wanted. So I started my seventh grade year. Sixth grade year, I sat behind two quarterbacks. But in my seventh grade year, I wound up starting. In my seventh grade year, I broke my foot. And then that's when my mom was like, "You're not playing your eighth grade year." And I was like, ah. But then my dad interfered. He was like, "Let him play. This is probably his last year playing." So I got out there my eighth grade year. I actually did decent. I mean, took our team to like the semifinals or something like that, and we lost. But I mean, pretty good team. So I knew from there, like them kids in high school, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be ready for that next level. Basketball is where my heart is at, so I'm gonna stick there. I mean, just trying to get mobility and motion back into it. I mean, I was it. I was ready. I was just ready to get back to the basketball season. So I was trying to do anything it was to really get back. Because middle school, I had something to prove. I didn't play my sixth grade year in middle school because like I had sat out with a broken pinky. I know that sounds weird, but I sat out with a broken pinky. So seventh grade, I really wanted to play. That happened seventh grade, but I played like half of the season. Really didn't get too much playing time though because at that time they were practicing and I was still hurt. So I was like sitting behind a couple other people, but I was getting in the game just a little bit. But eighth grade was like my year to prove, ready to show. So like I got in like the half of the like second half going into like conference play. So I really didn't get in that much. Like I said, I was sitting behind like a couple eighth graders, like one really. But I mean, when he started slacking, my coach was like, "Yo, Fudge, get in there. You should be straight now." So I'm like, "Yeah, let me go ahead and step up," and then we went from there. Like my brother's probably one of my biggest inspirations. Like growing up, watching my brother, like his work ethic, it's like crazy. My brother, he would wake up, go train with my dad, and then try to go find another training because like he wanted to be the best. Like everybody knew my brother to be the fastest in the city. Like no doubt, hands down. If you put him out there on the island by himself, oh yeah, just go to cancel because he's gonna run a fly. They're gonna get it to him, touchdown. It was that easy. Middle school, I mean, I just watched them. Everybody was like, Aaron Fudge, Aaron Fudge, Aaron Fudge. You're gonna be great when you go to high school. I'm like, yo, this man is really like that. And when he actually got to high school, he was supposed to go to like one of our neighborhood schools, but he had a different plan. So he went to a Catholic school on the other side of town by the name of Bishop Kenny. Johnny Wolford actually played there, the quarterback that was with the Jets. And my brother, I mean, just watch him in the high school, his ninth grade year, he didn't get too much burn. Like he played JV just a little bit, but they wanted to move him up varsity, like to get that rep. So at the end of his JV year, they moved him up, and I was just watching him like, yo, this man is something different. So then 10th grade year, 11th grade year, well, his 10th grade year, he started off varsity and like was training with the Big Cats. Now they had talent at that school because at that time they had Charles Wade, they had Julian Ingram, they had all the other kids. So when he was there, his 11th grade year was supposed to be his year to shine. Like that was going to be like his big break. Like these are when the colleges are going to come see me. But he really didn't play that year because he had suffered from a broken ankle at one of his practices. He broke his ankle. And from there, I mean, I've never seen my brother like so upset. Like he came home crying. From that day on, I mean, like he was just determined. Like this man was so focused just to getting back out on that field. Cause I mean, he was saying to like, he was just telling me, just saying to the family, like, yo, when I get back, it's over. I gotta show something. I gotta prove. So he got back, I mean, like late junior year, and this was when they were going into the playoffs. So watching him just like dominate, coming straight off of an ankle injury, I'm like, wow, like I got to get my work ethic up like this because that's what I want to follow into his work ethic because it's crazy. If you look at him now, I mean, he's like 6'4", 211, straight muscle, and now he's at the D2 in Tusculum University, which really, him not playing the junior year really hurt him because he had like a lot of interest, like USF, Louisville, Central Michigan was his only offer at the time, but they changed coaches, so he had lost that offer. But then he had like Louisiana at Lafayette, where my mom's from. They lost coaches as well. So like his work ethic now is just crazy. Like he just said his next step is really to get to the league. And that's where his ultimate goal is, where he wants to be. So he's working like crazy. I mean, asking me, yo, bro, you want to go work out? You want to go run, all that? I'm like, yo, I got my own workouts, but if I could, I would. But I mean, just watching him growing up, he really just inspired me. Well, I mean, like, I listen to my mom the most because, like, she knows the basketball side because she coached, actually, like, at D1 level women's basketball, Bethune-Cookman. So she's like I said, I'm trying to get my brother's work ethic. I go 2-a-days now with lifting in the middle. So, but she's like, you got to be ready because in college, it's going to hit. And she was like, you're going to be wanting to come home and like, this is hard. And she was like, but you got to be ready for it. She was just telling me like, you have to be like mentally prepared and also physically. So, and with my dad just tries to like instill life lessons and how to become a better man. So it's like my dad would be saying, your attitude, fix your attitude, or how you look at things, because he really changes my way of how I look at life. Because we we see stuff different. Because like we both like the debate, so we see it differently. But at the end, we like agree to disagree, and we see in the middle, we compromise. So like they both instill differently, but I get like my life skills from my dad the most, but my mom, she really teaches me the basketball side and how to be prepared and how to go on in this world, like to be like the best I can and reach my maximum potential in basketball. Uh, that's a couple. Chandler Parsons, he's a sponsor for my team, so I mean I talk to him a lot. Patrick Young as well. Patrick Young played at Florida with Chandler. Uh, it's really a lot. I mean, I talked to Isaiah Ford from the Miami Dolphins. We get on the game sometimes and he just sits there and tells me like the decisions I should make and how I should go about it. And then also my coaches, because my coaches didn't put a lot of players into like the league. Like Grayson Allen from Duke, he started off with Jacksonville Lee Bulls, and both of my coaches, Coach Maurice and then Coach David Jones. I mean, two great coaches. They don't want to see nothing but success for me, so they really try to instill a lot and motivate me to be the best player I am. Isaiah Ford, he actually played for Lee Bulls under my coach, Coach Maurice and Coach Jones. So I was blessed to actually play against Coach Maurice's team. They wasn't the Lee Bulls, but it was actually Jacksonville Magic. Because at the time, I was playing for a team, and I'm not going to lie, they weren't the best, but it was just a team I had to play for. So we played against them, and Coach Maurice came and picked me up, and it was like, yo, I think you should be playing for my team. I could develop you. And it was like, I'll get you ready. So my mom sent me over there to play with him. And from there, I mean, I went to a camp at Jacksonville Indoor Outdoor Sports. I'll never forget this day. And I seen Isaiah. And at the time, he was just about to graduate from Trinity Christian Academy. He was out. He was actually playing basketball with us. So it was a camp. I seen him, and I'm like, yo, how tall are you? He was like, I'm like 6'3", 6'4". They were like, wow, what's up? What's your name? And then from there, we just like started creating great conversations. He took me to the store. I mean, anything I needed, he was there advice-wise. And I mean, now we're just close. Like, I'll get on the game and be like, yo, Isaiah, hop on the game. We'll get on 2K or Modern Warfare or something like that. So he told me, like, being top ranked doesn't really mean nothing. Like, you might be number one in your state. You might be number one in your nation. He was like, but that doesn't mean you stop working. It was like, he was always telling me, like, don't settle for less. He was like, don't become complacent. He was like, keep working. So I always take that with me. Chandler Parsons, I asked, like, when I talk to Chandler, it's always about, like, decisions on schools. When I see, like, when schools offer me, I will reach out to him and be like, hey, Chandler, what do you think about this school? Or what do you know about this school? And, like, he will give me, like, at first I asked him about Florida, of course, because that was his alma mater. But he told me, he was like, the great school. And he was like, it's going to be on you. And I had to ask him, like, seriously, did you know, like, what was the right decision for you? And, like, how did you know? Because honestly, at this point, I'm in the stage where I'm just taking it all in right now. I want to, like, see what I have, my options and stuff. So I was asking Chandler when he goes to narrow down his school, what schools did he choose and why? And then he was telling me, like, you just got to know that head coach is like, the head coach is really like what you need to know and where your decision is going to be based off of. Because it's like the assistant coaches, yeah, they're going to be there, but it's like the head coach is who you're playing for the next 4 years or 1 year if you're lucky. So he was like, you want to make sure that the head coach and you are like tight, like that's your second dad. So he was telling me that you got to just basically trust the school and the environment that you're at. Because he was like, Gainesville, he was straight with Gainesville. He was down in Winter Park, and I mean, he said he loved Gainesville. He was like, even like, think about Florida now. Florida cares. They actually like sit down and help them with tutoring and stuff like that. So it's like Florida cares. I also asked him about a couple West Coast schools. He was telling me he knew a couple coaches that coached them over there at Florida, like Rashawn Burner. That's at Arizona State. I asked him about him a couple while back. So as of right now, I'm currently sitting at 24 offers, and I'm just really in the investigation mode. I want to go into these schools. I want to find out more about them. I want to find out more about the coaches. So I'll say the next 2 or 3 months, I should have my top 15 at least, or top 10. But I know as of right now, like, schools are just not getting involved. Like a couple schools, Stanford, Miami, they say. So, I mean, we have a little evaluation series coming up on Saturday. So more coaches are probably going to get involved. But right now I'm just taking it all in, looking into the schools and basically building a relationship with these coaches to see, like, is this where I want to be? So virtual, I've been taking a couple virtual visits. Like after this, I have a virtual visit with Stanford. So they're going to take me around the school. But I've taken about a good handful of virtual visits. I can't count them, but that's basically all that's going on in my recruitment. I mean, from a decision wise, like if I had to make a decision today off of the virtual visits, I don't feel like I have a great feel for the school because they're giving me the facts about the school, like how monthly living would be, how practices will be, how I fit into their systems and stuff like that. But I really won't know where I want to be until I actually get there. So say like, what if I get there, it sounds good all over the phone and all over the Zoom calls. They say, oh, we're going to train you well. We're going to make sure you get the best education. We're going to make sure you eat well. Say that sounds very good. Okay. Then that second part comes in where I actually get on campus. Say I don't like the environment or where I'm at, or it's just an empty town. I mean, that's really going to like play into my decision because I don't want to go to a place where I know it's nothing to do. I mean, I like to keep myself occupied. Like say I'm out of practice and I don't have nothing else to do. I mean, like the stuff like that is where trouble starts. So I want to make sure I keep myself occupied. I know I'm gonna be in the gym 24/7, but I just don't want to be bored after the gym because like sometimes the game's not there for me. Sometimes I'm not. I'm having a bad day. I don't want to get on the game. Don't want to talk to nobody. So I like the area around, the people around as well. I mean, because usually when I went on my unofficials, like to Georgia Tech, going to the game, I mean, I felt the presence of everybody. They was like, hi, Alex. They knew who I was. People that worked there, especially like Louisiana, Lafayette, and Florida, they knew who I were. It was hyped to see me, happy to see me. And I'm like, yo, this is a nice feeling. Like, the people here are nice. Like, Clemson, it was just a college town. Everything was Clemson. So, like, I want to get a feel for the school. So. All right. So, in middle school, I guess I got to tell you this now. Middle school, I wasn't that good in basketball. So, my mom was like, you better be good at something. So, I got into, like education, like, hard. So, a program came up, and it was a great opportunity for me in the 7th grade. It was the first time my school had it. It's called Early College Program. And so I had to take the PERT my 7th grade year to enter. I passed it easily. I mean, it wasn't that hard. But 8th grade year, I started taking high school courses. And from there, I really wanted to go to the school, Paxson, for the advanced studies. Like, they were so highly ranked for their academics. And that's where all my boys were going. We played AAU together. So we was like, we're all going to go to Paxson. My mom was like, nah, not at all. She was like, I got a better plan for you. So she sent me to Lee, and that's where the early college, like the best early college in the city, that's where that was at. So my 9th grade year, I started taking like 10th grade courses. And then when I finished that, my 10th grade year, I started taking like 11th grade courses, like finishing out my maths, finishing out my readings. Then I took, I want to say, 3 college credits in high school. When I was at Lee, I took a math, I took a English, and then I took a history. I want to say 2 histories, but that counts as 1. So then basically I completed all my high school courses except like 2 in high school, like when I was there in my 10th grade year. Now my 11th grade year, I got the FSCJ. Totally crazy. I never took a foreign language, so it was hard for me. I had to take Spanish out of college, and that's what I struggled with the most. But I took a Spanish, I took a math, a science. I recently just completed human anatomy and physiology. And I took a speech class, an economics class, well, not an economics, but a financial literacy. So next year, I will actually be going into my major, in which I decided I would be doing history and sports management. I didn't know which one I wanted to do because I really wanted to go into law, but that was like a lawyer convinced me not to go into law because it was like, you're good at basketball and law takes a lot. So he was like, if you want to still do law when you're done, he was like, go into something like minor to the major. So I was like, I'll just do history and I can still get into it. So in that sports management, like I wanted to stay around like the basketball side as well. So I just chose sports management. So my schedule actually for next year is kind of crazy. The first half, I have statistics, a physics, a human development class, and another class. Oh, my economics class. That's my last class for high school. So basically, I'll be done with high school, and then my second semester is straight electives. I have a lot of history, basically. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity for me. I'll be graduating with my AA degree once I complete it, and I'll be graduating from the college first, then the high school. But I'm loving it. I mean, not being able to go to school. I get out at like 12 o'clock every day sometimes. So, I mean, it's great. All right, so we were fresh off of a actual good season. We had lost in the, I want to say the second round in the playoffs, and we lost a senior. He was pretty good. He went off to college, so we were in look. We're like we was in need for another player to replace him. I saw my friend so called went to go grab my like this man is crazy like probably 5'8", 5'9". I mean, he went to go grab him. And I was like, "Can he hoop?" He was like, "Yeah, he can hoop." He like, "Can he shoot?" He came to the school. He was originally supposed to graduate from Reigns. Now the school is like his whole family graduated from Reigns, but due to Corona, he couldn't really transfer schools. But now he's a graduate of league. So we came in first game. I mean, I really couldn't play because I broke my wrist like 2 months before at a camp. Like it was crazy. I was at Scott Golden's hoop exchange, and it set me back a little. But I came back, I think, a little too early because now I still got complications. But I mean, I'm still hooping. So, but first game, I went off. I probably had 25, 21 points, and I was like, the crowd packed out gym, and from that day, we were like, "Yo, we're set for greatness. Like, we're going to take this thing all the way." So, second game, we actually got upset. I mean, to an actual good team. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Isaiah Adams, going to UCF next year. Um, he's like he's like a twin of mine. Like we look identical. Skinny build, does exactly the same thing. So, I mean, we got upset by them, but from there on, I mean, like we was determined, like, yo, we can't lose to nobody else in the city. So we played. DeAndre actually stepping up, like hitting big threes. He was like our primary shooter. My point guard, like at 5'7", 5'6". I mean, nobody in the city could stop him. Like one of the top point guards, hands down. It's just that like his height. That's what's holding him like schools back from getting interested in him and stuff. But I mean, we were just destined. Like I'm grabbing boards, pushing the ball. My boy Jarion 6'1". I mean, same thing, grabbing boards, finishing with dunks, easy layups, shooting the ball. And I mean, we just went from there. And we went on. I averaged 16 points, I want to say, about 10 rebounds. I think it was at 9.9. And then I averaged 3 blocks per game. So we got into the playoffs, and that's when stuff really started like picking up. So we first went to go play a team called Pine Forest. I'll never forget that game. It was like crazy. We started off slow, and Pine Forest hit us like, yo, we're here to play. So I'm thinking like, did they really just come at us like that? So we went halftime, went in the locker room. My coach was like, so y'all here to play or y'all here to just look cute for the fans? I'm talking about after the halftime, it was over. Like, game plan. Teron get the ball, drop to the hole, lob it up to Alex. He gonna go get it. They couldn't stop it at all. So, I mean, we had that duo. DeAndre, I mean, he was so crafty with the ball. He'll hit an inside-out cross, step back, knock down from the three. And I'm like, can't nobody stop him, keep going. So we wound up beating them, went to the second round, played St. Augustine. And, I mean, St. Augustine, we blew past them. So then third round playoffs, that's the playoff game we lost in. That was right before Final Four, but we played a team called Rickards. Rickards was actually very well coached. I just think we got out coached, and we really didn't have film. Like we were just playing it by ear what people was telling us about the team. So we heard that they could finish well and they could move the ball like up and down the court fast. So we were anticipating the drive. So they came out. I think that was the best shooting game they ever had that whole season. came down, one dribble pull-ups from the 3, from the 2, and I'm like, we got to stop it somehow. So we adapted to it, and we changed halftime. They started pulling away, and at that point, yeah, the game was out of reach at like fourth quarter. We was down by like 2 going in like to the fourth quarter with probably 4 minutes left. But at that 3-minute mark, yeah, they started pulling away. Players got tired because the 5 that was in the game is basically the 5 that played for us. Because like, I didn't come out, my guard didn't come out, both of my guards didn't come out, nor did Jarian. Now the 5th person was interchangeable. Like they would put a shooter in or they would put a playmaker in, but we didn't really sub that much. So I think it was fatigue, but we just didn't play to our standards and our expectations. So, I mean, we were cut short, but now that I look back at it, I can't say that a team beat us and didn't win it all because Rickers went on to win a whole state championship. So, but I mean, season went well, ended off 23-5, and yeah. I mean, like before the season, my coach was old school. I mean, this is what we would do. Before the season, he'd have us out on the track. And it was like he was like preparing us to run this 1.5 miles. I don't know why, but he had us run a mile. Like we would do track, like we would warm up with the track team because the track team like started real early. They started conditioning real early. So we did basically track workouts. And then the football team came in and did track workouts. And I'm like, y'all in season. The coach was like, I don't care. Like, so we're all working out with the track team, running sprints, doing 100, 400, like 200, running sprints back and forth. I mean, running the stadium. And then after that, we'll go hit the weight room sometimes. And then from there, I mean, we had to make a time limit. I think he had 11 minutes or 8 minutes, somewhere in between that time to do 1.5 miles. I think it was 11. But, I mean, it wasn't that hard. But then after that, I mean, they put us in the gym. And for like that whole first 2 weeks, I'm thinking like, okay, we're finna go in the gym, we're finna see who can do something. We didn't even touch a ball. It was like straight conditioning, straight core workout, straight like body workout. And I'm like, what? Like, and then he told us, he was like, this is my last year coaching y'all. So he was like, I want to make sure I get everything out of y'all. So it was like, I want the best you. So we're going to get this butter from the duck. So I'm like, oh, man. So the whole first 2 weeks, we just straight did like training, like boot camp. So I think really that prepared us, like for us, that first 5 to be in the game that much. I mean, it just shows that hard work really do pay off, but I can't stop working. So next year, I'm looking forward to like taking my team to the state championship and hopefully getting Mr. Florida. I seen my friend Isaiah Adams do it. Took his team to the Final Four back-to-back 2 years in a row. And just watching him dominate, he deserves, well, more than deserves, Mr. Florida. So, I mean, basically, recognition like that just pushes me to go to the next one, like the highest one next for that. So that's what I'm urging for next year. Okay, so high school, all right, my game is different in high school and AAU. High school, I'm literally like the biggest man on the court. So I play the post primarily, but my game is like I'm a combo guard. My strength is I have a quick first step, and my ability to finish at the rim is like crazy. If I have to, I would dunk on you. So it's like uh, playmaking, creating like plays for others. I'm like, I know the game, so I will see the play before it happens. And like setting screens, I love doing that because it creates like wide open like opportunities for my players. So back screens, setting a screen and fading away or slipping the screen, easy stuff like that. I mean, I'm just a student of the game, so I like to watch stuff like that. Defensively, I mean, I can stay in front of the man. I can make sure like he changes directions and defending the rim, like no doubt, that's the easiest thing because anything that goes up is going back the other way. So that's why like teams like to shoot the ball when they play us because they know I'm down there. So, but yeah, finishing, and I can shoot the ball as well. I've been taken away from that this season because, like I said, I was primarily in the post, dominating there. But I like to shoot the ball, like stationary. If they'll drive and kick, I'll knock it down. Or if I have to take a 1-2 and pull up mid range, I'll do that as well. But my strengths are really like finishing and playmaking. Well, I would say if I was to sit here to tell you 2 things, I mean, like I would be lying. My whole game is like needs improvement because I'm not there yet. But I would say shooting, like I said, because I've been taken away from that aspect of my game in high school. So I want to make sure I stay like tighten up with those skills, ball handling, also like reaction. Like I want to be able to move more fluid, and that comes with like just my body. So I want to work on my body more and like developing like muscle, because I got to add more muscle to myself, because at the next level, it's kids like at 210, 230, 215 in my position. And I want to just make sure I'm physically ready, because me going against Udoka in these workouts showing me a lot. Udoka's a big man, and I gotta get ready, prepared. Yeah, so he actually went to the high school Potter's house. It's like 15 minutes away from my house. So he's coming back now, working out, preparing for the draft. Like, I've been getting in with him a lot. I mean, Doga's a beast. But yeah, just I'm helping him and he's helping me. So yeah, so I like every workout. So it's like I get 2 dribbles. It's like basically he wants Udoka to guard off the screen and roll. So basically the 1-on-1 is from there. I set a screen and I'll slip it and I'll bounce out like a fade. So Udoka hedges, comes back to guard me. I have 2 dribbles. And it's like he's so long, you got to get that shot off immediately. Like after a move, I'm like, I'll beat him sometimes to the hole, because I hit him with a quick hezzy in and out and get by him. But that bump is serious, because like when he bumps you up your trail, you got to make sure you get back, because he coming. Like he's so long. One step and he's at the rim. So I mean, but workouts, I mean, he's really pushing me, because now I'm seeing this is what I have to beat in college, and this is what I'm gonna have to beat at the next level after college. So really working out with Udoka is really helping. Uh, Coming out of 8th grade, I was like 5'7", 5'8", and then my 9th grade year, I hit 6'1", I want to say, like the beginning of my 9th grade year, and then I went from 6'1" to 6'4" coming into my AAU season for 15 years. Then my 10th grade year, I shot up to 6'6", and then from that, I went from 6'6" to now I'm 6'8". So now I'm scared I might hit 7 foot, but that's okay. But I might be. They said I was probably almost done growing, but I don't think so, because like my knees been hurting. So that means something. I mean, my first year, like that was my first year at AAU. I didn't play AAU my 8th grade year, because my mom, she pulled me out because she seen that I wasn't giving enough into it. So going into my 9th grade year, I was like, yo, I got to put my name on the map. So going in, Coach Maurice was like, I have a great opportunity for you down in Orlando. It's like, of course, you're not going to be playing with me, but I trust you to play with these people. So I went down. Coach Rick seen me. He was like, I want you to play on the 15U Gauntlet team. So that was our last year on Adidas. And, I mean, the competition in Adidas, it was crazy. I mean, kids from like Efton Reed. I mean, Efton was huge. Michael Foster as well. I mean, playing against them. My 9th grade year, I wouldn't say I was the best, but I wasn't also the worst. I was just in between, not knowing my potential. But my 9th grade year, like I was a shooter, so that's basically what I did, shot the ball. And then it was like from there, CP, Coach Ricks was telling me, Fudge, you have the potential to be one of the top players in the nation. It was like, we're going to put a plan in place, and they're like, if you just follow it, trust me, you will be. You're like, but you got to keep working. So I've just been trusting Coach Ricks from here and there, and I mean, he's really showing me and really like putting me out there. Like what he says he's going to do, he does it, and he's really for me. And like he's there not only like to get something out of me, but he's here for my like personal success. So I mean, CP25. I mean, best program to go to if you want to coach in a program that really cares about you and wants to invest time into you. And like my 10th grade, I mean, Coach Ricks he actually became my coach. And from there, I mean, games was hard because he would get in me so crazy. It was like he would yell at me one time, and now I'm mad. I'm like, and now it's like I'm mad at him. I'm mad at the game. I got to go dominate. So I mean, he just pushed me to be the best I could be. I mean, my work ethic, because natural talent, everybody has talent. I mean, somebody could do something. Everybody could do. But that work ethic is what really separates you from others. Because, say, my natural talent is I can just finish because I'm 6'8", 7'1" wingspan. I can finish high. But just being able to finish, I mean, that work ethic is what is going to take you to, like, how you're going to finish. What finishes can you have? What dribble moves do you get to be able to make that finish? And that's like, that's the thing that really separates others from everybody else. Because most people, like, say for example, Musa Diabetes. I think I'm saying his name right. He's one of my teammates though, but he's just an all-around great player. Like that natural talent separates him from everybody else. But his work ethic as well is like he wants to be the greatest. Like he wants to be the best. So he's out there grinding almost every day at IMG and with his trainers. And I mean, like with him, he can just do it all. But he works on like certain aspects of the game that could help him with all the other stuff that he can do well. So that's what really separates like me from other people is like my work ethic, and that's what I like depend on the most. So I would say Jonathan Kaminga, J.D. Davison, Michael Foster. I think his name is Terran Frank, the kid that played at Sierra Canyon.
Yeah.
Going to TCU. And then played so many. I think I had to stop there. I wouldn't know the fifth one. Probably Afton Reed, because he was a dominant force in the paint. I would say J.D. Davison. Crafty and explosive. I mean, you could stay in front of it, but can you stay in front of it 24/7? Because the man he was like thinking while he's playing. So, all right, that move didn't work. Going to the next one. I'm finna pull this one out my bag. And I'm like, how many moves do you have? And it's like, if you stop him, all right, he got another plan. Somebody gonna be backdoor cutting or something. It's just like when he plays, it's just smooth. He can play make. He can create plays for others. And I mean, it's like with his game, it's similar to like Tommy Murray. Like both of them play like relentless and easy. So I say J.D. Davison. Like I said, I wanted to go into law, and that's just only because like I like to talk a lot and I like to get my point across. So I love to debate, and I mean the type of law I want to go into is like entertainment law. I don't want to deal with nothing like with the criminal justice or nothing like that. Even though I love stuff like that, like I would back then, like 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, I used to look into like court cases like back then. What landmark cases? I used to love looking into those, and I mean, that's what like got me into law because I really wanted to do stuff like that. But now I see, and I'm like experiencing firsthand. I couldn't be the one like persecute somebody or put somebody in jail or like defend somebody that I know is wrong. I mean, I couldn't do that. So I want to like actually be an agent for somebody or like defend somebody that just did wrong and needs help. Growing up, I mean, when I was watching Udoka play, when he first went to Kansas, I liked Kansas. Like Kansas is like a good school. I was like, Kansas is pretty nice. And then I was like, growing up, when I got to 9th grade, all that changed because I was like, coaches are starting to get involved. I don't have a dream school no more. I was like, whatever school wants me, wherever school I end up, that's gonna be my dream school. So, but growing up, I mean, playing NCAA football, I always like playing with the Jayhawks because when they had that one game mode where you get to play with the mascots. I always chose them for some reason. I like playing with the Jayhawks. So it's like the relationships you make through it and like the hard work. I just like basically when I'm working hard and I see like the progression. Like this time around last year, I was ranked like 126, 108, somewhere in that range. And like I had mid-major like interests like ULL, UNF. So at that point, I just started working, and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, I've come a long way, and I'm still developing. I'm like, what more can I do? I'm like, that's the next step. What else can I do? What else can I accomplish? So that's what really brings me joy in basketball, because now you're finding out what you really can do, what your abilities are, what you're capable of. So that's basketball just brings me joy that by that. My family. Just watching them, like from my dad's story, my mom's stories, especially my brother's stories. I mean, I really want to do this. Like, I want to follow in their footsteps and go beyond what they did. So, I mean, my goal is to make it to the highest level and compete at the highest level. So, got to take my brother's work ethic, got to take my dad's life skills and my mom's personal like motivation for basketball, and I got to put all that together, make it to the highest level I want to go to. So it's three people I model my game after. I like to watch Giannis because, like I said, I'm a slasher, and Giannis gets to the hole easily, 6'11", finishing at the rim, nobody stopping him. And then also I like to watch KD because growing up, same build, tall just like me. He's got KD's probably 7 foot, yeah, but the way that he can handle the ball, shoot the ball, and make plays for himself, I mean, that's why I want to see myself like the next KD. And then the third person, Tracy McGrady. I mean, watching him, it was like the way he scored the ball was so easy. So like I like to copy a couple moves from him, like the hezzy he had, just and then straight into a pull up. I mean, stuff like that. And my coach also told me like that's who I should be watching. So I picked up Tracy McGrady like late ninth grade year. So it'll be LeBron, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Jordan, Kobe. Um, Sleeping. Out of basketball, I mean, I'm working out almost all day, so I come home and sleep. Also, like people don't notice, but next to basketball, I mean, all I like to do is buy shoes. Like I'm a big sneakerhead. Like finding a size 15 is hard for me, but I can find them. I'm gonna get them. Like my what I want to reach is like I want to have a collection of just Jordan ones. Like simple. Right now I have like a few rares. Like I have Yeezys. I have the KD5 Ump Pearls. They're like real limited. I have some Jordan 11s, 13s. I got a lot of 13s. But I mean, I just want Jordan 1 simple because, like, if I can find all those are like the classic shoe to wear around. And it's like a nice shoe, and I actually like it. So all the colorways are cool with me. I don't really care about the colorways, but the shoe is just nice. So that's what I want to at least get to. Yeah, I know for sure. Like my high school season next year, like I was hooping in like the newest Kyries or the newest LeBrons, but the newest Giannis's. Next year, I'm going like throwback. Like I'm gonna go back all the way when LeBron had LeBron nines and the tens. Then I'm gonna have the Kobe eights, the Kobe sevens. I'm gonna have all that. Like Katie, I just got a pair of Katie fours and fives. Like I said, I got a pair of LeBron nines. I had got another pair, and now I'm looking forward to get like a pair of Kobe sevens because I had got a pair of Kobe eights, and like the Kobe eights I had them customized because that was around the time like Kobe had died. So I had put like it was a shadow of Kobe, and then I put like memorial and all that stuff on that shoe, and I was like, this was like me paying respect and like giving back. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I got to get me another pair of Kobe's, like not the design, but like to actual have because Kobe's are decent like that. Kobe's like probably the best hooping shoe. I like I like to watch like documentaries or movies that's really getting into like what's going on in the world. So like I remember my favorite book was The Skin I'm In, or I would say Their Eyes Were Watching God. I had to read that this semester for my humanities class. And I mean, all basically I just like shows or books that teaches you life lessons and how to go about. So I mean, shows like that, like I'll watch Harriet Tubman the movie, or Fences. Fences was a great movie. I mean, I watched that for my English class for my college credit, NC 1101. And I mean, Fences, it had a deep meaning to it. And Denzel played that part very well. So I mean, I like movies and books like that. So all right, so in Fences, basically the son and the dad and the mom, it was like I remember this one part, and this is gonna stick with me forever. The son was out and he was working with his dad, and his dad was like he couldn't play football. So then he was like, "Why can't play football?" And he was like, "Because you're not gonna play for the white man, and the white man not gonna have you. It's like you're gonna go get you a job and you're gonna settle down." So he was like, "Dad, I got a question. Do you love me?" And then from there, that was like he was like, "Don't I put clothes on your back? Don't I provide a shelter over you? Like, so you're gonna learn to work. You're gonna learn to respect me. You know, it's like, and if you don't want it, you can get out." So from there, I mean, Denzel, as he played the role, the fence was supposed to be built for his wife, and the fence was basically I forgot what the purpose of the fence was, but the actual purpose for the movie was like to keep all the bad negativity out, because Denzel was fighting death, and later on in the movie he died, but the fence was like to keep the bad spirits and all that other negative stuff out. And towards the end, Denzel actually started building it, and I mean he cheated on his wife, and as you see, that bad stuff came in and didn't even finish the fence. His wife had to accept the fact that he did that, and he had a baby with the other lady as well. So, and then his son ran away, went off into the military and stuff like that. So I mean, his cousin was mentally, I want to say mentally ill or something like that, and like stuff was happening to him, bad stuff coming in, and the main focus was to fix the fence, build the fence around the house, keep all that stuff out. And when he finished it, I mean, at the end, he wound up dying. And his son, he's realizing like, man, my dad was going through what he was trying to teach me. He didn't really realize it until towards the end. So I mean, life lessons like that, it was just like, I just like watching. Ah, intelligent, athletic, caring, and then uh, self-determined. Um, okay, people always say like Alex is smart. Like Alex is intelligent. Like he has to be the smartest thing if he's going to graduate with his A degree. I mean, yeah, I'm smart, but that's not the case. I just know how like to manage my time and like to like prioritize other things. So like Spanish and human anatomy was like a real struggle. But what I did was my speech class and then my other class, I was like no problems. I had no problems with the other three classes. So Spanish and like my human anatomy class, I had to divide like how am I going to get like equal opportunity to study and get all the information in for those. So I really had to like prioritize. I had to make like my Spanish class the most, because I think if I didn't pass Spanish, I probably would have like got kicked out of the program. So Spanish was first, and I had to make sure like I got everything I needed for Spanish. I got all the tutoring hours I needed for Spanish. I had to make sure like all the resources I needed. And then after Spanish, I would go and like my friends were like real good with human anatomy. Like, see me, I don't like science. I used to back then, but I don't no more. Like knowing the body parts and all that, don't really care too much for it. But I need to know it now, because the way I'm looking, my body breaking, nah, I got to know something. So then I would go to human anatomy and I would like get help. So like class would be at this time. I'm going early so I can get some Spanish done. Then like after school, I would be going for like my human anatomy with my friends, and we'll study, and then I'll see a tutor after. So I mean, it was just basically time management and how I scheduled and made a way for me to actually get the information for both classes. So it's not technically being smart, but it's also how to manage your classes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So that's the biggest thing in college, basically. I mean, if you can't do that, you're in for some trouble. Me, with like the way I had to schedule my classes, like the last semester, I had to take a 2-hour class, and that was the human anatomy because it was with the lab. And I mean, having to be to school at like 8 o'clock, like 7:45, just so I can get to like my Spanish hours and stuff like that. It was crazy because I'm not used to like waking up and school starting that early. Like my high school started like around 8:30, but like class actually began, and you're up for 2 hours listening to a lecture, and then next you have to go to a lab. I'm like, wait, it's not it. But I had to get used to it, and then I basically had 2 classes a day. So sometimes, like a lot of times, my teacher would like cancel class. He'll be like, "Oh, just go in the book. It's going to be there." And I'm like, "Huh?" Like, no, I need to learn this. I need you to teach me this. So basically, that's when I would get the email, and I'll be like, "What's your office hours? Because I need to be in your office." So yeah, that was like a hard thing. Dream day, basically in the NBA, making money from doing what I love, and hopefully, I mean, probably invest into a lot of businesses, owning a lot of shoes, and being able to take care of my family, provide for my mom and my dad and my brother. Uh, like I want to be remembered as a great player, but also like a person that came back and invested into their community. I want to be known as like someone who inspired their community, the kids in the community, like the next generation up. I want to be remembered as like they're somebody who they looked up to, who they know, who they can count on, and know like if something was going on, I'll be there like in the city to help out. I mean, what's going on, we know it all is it's not right, but at the same time, I feel as if the protests that some people are doing, it's right, but others I feel are taking advantage of what's actually going on, and they're starting to damage this country, like the looting, the rioting, burning of the cities. I mean, putting like stuff like that affects other families because curfews get put in place, and at this point, I had to sit back and think: is like, are the protests that's becoming riots, are these are even for like the people that were affected about this? And I mean, I I love protests. I mean, don't get me wrong. What's going on, like the peaceful protests, speaking up, using your platform, I'm all for it. But when America and like when a group of people just decide to get together and just damage or steal from a place, I mean, I don't feel like that's the way to go. Some people would be like, by any means necessary, they'll take that quote from Malcolm X, and I mean, I don't think that's what he meant. I think by any means necessary, back then it was a crucial time where like cops would brutally beat the people during these protests and riots and stuff. So I meant by when he meant by that, fight back. But at this point, I don't think rioting and looting other places is right. From where we are, like our players like Michael Brodigan, uh, J. Cole, from them stepping up, using their voices, I like that's what I want to see more. LeBron using his platform to step up to the people like Drew Brees when he made the wrong comment at the wrong time. He was like, "Yo, check them." And I mean, that's like what more I like to see. But like all lives matter, is like everybody should say. But right now, in this particular time, I mean, we're going through something, and we need everybody's help. We need everybody to be on one page, like one step. So I mean, it's gonna take everybody in the world to come together because everybody's equal, and that's how it should be. And no cop is above the law. No person is above the law. Nobody is above the law. The law is where it's at. So I mean, that's my stance on it.